What's up, world? It's your girl T Fizzle. Okay, so if you haven't heard, there's a story of a 23-year-old woman named Carlina White who just recently discovered that she had been kidnapped 23 years ago by her fake mom, Ann Petway. And today, Ann Petway turned herself into the police via Facebook. She contacted the police department, and now she's been arrested and she's being held in custody. And when I first heard this story, I felt really, really bad. I'm like, dang, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? 23 years to not know who you really are, and then to find out like that your mom, who you thought was your mom, kidnapped you from your real parents. And, I could just imagine the emotional up and down roller coaster that girl and her birth family are going through. Even with all this, what ceases to amaze me are the people in this world. Do you realize I was on Yahoo? And I'm going through the comment section because I was getting ready to blog about the story. And I'm going through the comment section, and there's people who are actually sympathizing with the kidnapper. People are on Yahoo talking about, well, why is she getting locked up anyways? First of all, that girl is beautiful. She looks healthy and well fed to me. Somebody else wrote this comment. The baby wasn't killed. She grew up to be a beautiful woman. I mean, the older woman committed a crime, but I mean, life in prison is not that serious. Somebody else is blaming the parents. They're saying that the parents had no business leaving her at the hospital. They both should have took shifts, making sure that their baby was okay. And if they hadn't left the hospital, their child would have been kidnapped. I mean, my thing is this. I don't give a damn who left what where. It is never okay to take somebody's child. Okay, I feel bad that she wasn't able to have children because that's her excuse for why she took a child. She wasn't able to conceive. But you not being able to conceive don't got shit to do with me. And for her to go to the hospital and take somebody's child, that's crazy. She hasn't ruined this girl's life, but she's basically messed up this girl's life. The girl has a chance to catch up with her family, but imagine the stuff that her and this family is going through behind this woman's selfishness. And the people who are making excuses for this woman are crazy. I mean, I just find it amazing how people will make excuses for anything in this society. I mean, they're saying they should forgive her because the girl wasn't raped, because she wasn't malnourished, because she seemed smart. She seemed like she was a good student in school, so the mother obviously did something right. Now, how about the big obvious where she did something wrong by taking the baby and then kidnapping her and lying to her and just, being fake the whole time, knowing deep down in her heart that wasn't her child? Like, to me, how are people sympathizing with the kidnapper? I don't understand this society. Like, this is just ridiculous to me. And then I'm seeing comments where people are comparing her to JC. And if you remember who JC was, she was a white woman who was found in 2009. She had been held captive for 18 years. She was kidnapped at the age of 11 and held in the backyard of her kidnapper's yard for 18 years. And she even had two babies by the dude who kidnapped and molested her. So because this girl is not in the same boat as JC, people are saying that the mother should be let go and the mother should be given another chance and she shouldn't even do any time, if any, because the girl wasn't hurt. Well, how about emotionally hurt? You know how devastating it has to be to find out that somebody who told you they were your mother is no longer your mother? So not only has she missed out on getting to know her birth parents for 23 years, now she's about to lose the one person who she thought that she knew. Imagine the emotions that this lady is going through, and for people to say that, to give the kidnapper a pass, to me is just ridiculous. Do I think that the lady who kidnapped her should do the rest of her life in prison? No, I don't think she should do the rest of her life in prison. How much time should she do? I don't know because I'm not a judge. But it's just the point that why should she get off scot-free? She committed a crime, and a serious crime. I mean, I'm glad that Carlina White is okay. I'm glad she's healthy. I'm glad she's stable. I mean, she could have been through, hell and high water for all we know. We don't know how that lady treated her. The lady may not fed her for days at a time just because she was mad at her and knew that wasn't really her child, and maybe they didn't have that bond. I mean, to me, I don't think they had a really close bond anyways, because even if your mom says that she can't find your birth certificate, you're not really going to go digging for answers. You're 9 times out of 10, if y'all have a close relationship, you're just going to take it for what it is. So for the fact that she always felt that she didn't belong in that family makes me feel like the family at some points in time during her childhood treated her different or treated her like the black sheep. And I just find it amazing that this woman's, relatives didn't put two and two together. Like, okay, 1 minute she can't have a child, and the next minute she shows up with a baby. No questions are asked. No one, is curious. And then as the baby's grown older, she don't look nothing like the so-called fake mom. So, I mean, the story is just, it's amazing to me, and I'm glad that she found her real family. Miracles do happen. But to the people who are making excuses for this lady, shut the fuck up with that bullshit. I mean, come on. Okay, so what if she didn't get raped and molested? That makes it okay to take somebody's child? So what if the parents left her at the hospital in the care of a nurse? The parents were teenage parents. The mother was 16. Obviously, not too bright if she got pregnant at 16. Most teenage parents are not too bright. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten pregnant in the first place. So, with that being said, a nurse comes up to a teenage girl and says, you know what, you guys look tired. Go home. I'll take the baby, put her in her crib or whatever. Put her back in the nursery. Y'all go home and get some rest. They were following the orders of an adult, of someone in authority, so they thought. So how dare you blame a 16-year-old who just didn't know any better, who left her child? You know what I'm saying? When my son was 2 months old, he got sick. He had gotten an infection. He had gotten a real bad eye infection. And I had been at the hospital with him literally all day. My youngest was at home. I was exhausted. All I could do was just sit and cry because I didn't know if my son was going to be okay or not. And the nurses told me to go home. You're going to make yourself sick. We're going to keep an eye on the baby for you. Just go home, go get some rest, and come back in the morning. They told me to. I wasn't going to leave my child, but they wanted me to because all I was doing was sitting there crying and screaming and freaking out. So when I went home, I laid down, I got some rest, and the next morning I came back to the hospital. They do that a lot. Everybody don't take shifts, you know what I'm saying? His dad could have went up there, but me and his dad were up there at the same time, and then we left together. So everybody doesn't take shifts just sitting at the hospital with the baby, because sometimes there's just nothing more than you can do, and they want the parents to go home and rest and take care of themselves, so that way they're fit mentally and they're stable to come back and get the baby. So what they asked her to do is not out the norm. I was told to do the same thing after I had my son. He had gotten sick in the hospital. He was only in the hospital for 1 day, thank God. But that was the hardest when I had to leave him. But I left because I trusted the authority of the nurse who was talking to me. So I can definitely put myself in this mother's place, listening to an authority figure, thinking, you know what, I'm young. Let me go get some rest. I'll be back in the morning and get my child. I just think that's ridiculous that people are blaming the birth family for leaving the child with who they thought was a nurse. No, the only person who needs to be blamed is the kidnapper, Ann Petway. She's the only person who needs to be blamed in this. That little girl did not deserve that. Those birth parents did not deserve that. I understand, wanting a child, and, I'm sure as a woman that must be devastating if you can't have a baby. I couldn't even imagine, because I love my kids to death. So I understand the devastation that may be for some women, but it does not make it right, and that does not make it okay to take somebody else's child because you can't have a child. I mean, to me, that's just ridiculous that people are sitting here feeling bad for this woman. So anyways, that's my opinion on the story. I want to know what you guys think about this whole situation. Do you guys feel bad for her? Do you feel like the lady should be given a slap on the wrist because the daughter was okay? Maybe you're one of the people who wrote that on yahoo.com, because a lot of people really feel bad for this lady, and for the life of me, I don't know why. But, that's just me. Whatever. So go ahead. Let me know what you guys think. All right. Deuces.